I'm the son of this amazing girl right here, and I'm 12 years old.
In case you guys didn't catch that, because he does speak rather fast, his name is Romeo Valentino Jacopetta. And yes, he is my son. That's the fast speaking. So Ronnie and I are going to talk today about children's perspectives on spirituality and spirit in general, life in general, kind of how they view all of those aspects, just to get a really clear, concise opinion from somebody in his age bracket, because I think it's something that's overlooked. I think we don't talk to our kids about that enough, and they really want to have those conversations. They have a lot of opinions about it. And so I wanted Romy to be my first guest because he's my bestie.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And my partner in crime. So it just felt appropriate. So now that he's introduced himself, I'm going to start with some questions. And Romy's going to be open and honest about how he sees things and how he feels about things. So Romy, what do you think about our souls, our spirits, and where do you think they probably come from?
Well, I don't know. We still don't know where they come from, not into this very day. But I think it might just come from another universe, maybe. Maybe every time we die or something like that, our spirits just get transported from multiverses and multiverses into this universe, perhaps.
That's a really cool concept.
And next time we die in this universe, we'll probably be like transferred to another universe that might be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be better. That would be awesome. Our cats are going crazy. I think they came from a different universe as well, for sure. Do you feel like we all have a soul? Do you think everybody's aware that they have one?
Well, what do you mean by that? You mean by objects too, or just people and animals?
People, I mean, we can only talk about people because we're people, right?
Right.
So do you think that people realize that they have a soul?
Well, I don't think all of them, but I think like most of them could be also like just the little babies or children that don't really know what a soul is. So yes, I think there are some people that don't know that they have a soul.
Maybe they just aren't aware yet because nobody's brought it into their awareness.
Mm-hmm.
That makes perfect sense. What do you think a soul looks like? If you could imagine what you would see one looking like, what do you think it would be?
A small, very shiny orb of any color. Depends on the human being.
That's really cool. Why an orb? Why do you think of that?
It's just from the Holdout movies, but I also think it's like the most logical thing to be, because like they would be small enough to fit anything. A can of beans, us,
True.
animals like Gracie right under the desk.
That makes perfect sense. I gotcha. And so my next question is kind of interesting. I always wonder this one with the little people, because when kids are small, in a lot of religions or philosophies, the way that people believe things, they think that children remember their connection before a certain age, and they call it lifting the veil, right? Before the veil is lifted, they think that children still have memories of their other lives or their other experiences or what it was like on the other side or with God or however you want to view it. So my question is, why do you think we choose to come to Earth to have this experience?
I don't think that we choose Earth. You know, like I said before, that spirits could possibly be passing through universes and universes. Well, it's kind of like a random chance for me. It's like a little dice. You don't know what you're going to land on. Let's say 6 is Earth. Say you land on that 6.
And there you are.
When you're dead.
So you just think it's chance. We're just kind of bumbling through the universe and we land where we land.
Yeah, for extra, like, exploration, like, spiritually. it's like game rebirths, you know, where games you rebirth, start all over level 1, then increase.
Gotcha. So do you happen to have any memories of any existence before this one?
No, but I have told you about one. I know this may sound very weird, and we've already talked about this in the car, remember? And it's practically that I kind of felt like I saw an angel where I was actually like, okay, let me explain it. So, you know those 4 angel like beings in the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does one of them have orange curly hair?
I don't know because I don't remember. That's why I'm asking you these questions. But you kind of have to trust your memory.
Because in my memories, the first ever memory was when I saw some kind of angel, I guess? I don't know. I don't remember seeing the wings or something like that. It had orange curly hair and background was white full of black particles.
Wow. And that was before you came into Mom or before you were born or what?
It was before all those other memories or fake memories came in until I was at the present time when I was 4.
Oh, wow. That's a big gap, huh?
It is quite a big gap, 4 years.
So maybe you were living in multiple universes at one time. Have you ever considered that you were having experiences in different realities, maybe?
You actually have a good point. I never considered that.
It could be. Who knows? These are the reasons I'm asking you these questions. I think you guys, younger people and kids your age, have a lot more insight than we do because you guys do seem to be closer to source than we are. And by source, I mean whatever creation we come from, right? Wherever we come from originally. But it's really interesting. And so I want to ask you, do you have any idea why you're here on Earth at this time?
I think we're all here for a purpose.
But what do you think? Do you have any idea what yours might be?
I don't know, to game 24/7?
Then mission accomplished. You have done that beautifully well. Give me a high five, kid. You reached your soul mission. Bravo.
Nah, I'm just good.
Good for you.
Okay, other than gaming, I haven't actually thought about really. Maybe to rant about. No, I'm not going to say that. No. It's too mature for me to say that.
Okay.
I was about to say rant about politics.
Right. Yeah, I think we can leave that one. That's always a bad one to rant about. Why don't we move on to the next question?
All right.
Have you ever seen a spirit?
Well, no, really. Other than one time in Italy, at our apartment, I was trying to do some homeschool, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not homeschool, I mean homework. And in the place, you know where the bedrooms are? Your bedroom, your dad's, like, you and dad's bedroom and mine right next to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
There, I felt like I saw a white, tall figure, and he told me what that was.
You want to tell everybody what it was since they weren't there?
It probably was a spirit. It is still unknown, but I have believed that was a spirit.
Right. Just so you guys know, our house in Italy is in what was once an old monastery. It's a really beautiful space in a very old town in southern Italy. And so there's a lot of energetic there for sure. And God knows there's been a lot of people who've come and gone through those doors and through that space. So I do remember that from Romy, and it was an interesting and somewhat profound moment. Looks like Kitty's coming in to give some insight as well. So one of the other things I want to ask you about, because it came up the other night and we're not going to go too deep in that conversation, but we'll go a little bit in it, about what's an aura, and have you seen one?
I have never seen an aura. I've seen those in games. It's like something. It's like a particle effect that shows your real beauty, who you really are. Let's say let's say a cold-blooded person, it will probably show black or something like that, or red. But all of us have an aura. It's just hard to see.
What color do you think yours would be? If you just had to use your imagination, when you imagine yourself, what color would you think you have around you?
I think it would be white. I remember that one photo you showed me like a couple days ago, and I think it would be white.
Well, that would be something. I think that would be really beautiful, and especially because you're young, right? You haven't really gotten into any really bad stuff yet, so maybe it's still pretty pure, like the color of a wedding dress, right? Before somebody gets married, you know how the bride always has on a white dress.
Seriously?
It's to show her purity, Romy. Or it's supposed to be anyway. Maybe your aura is off-white. Maybe it's beige, like a lot of wedding dresses.
Can we stop talking about wedding dresses?
Sure, I know you don't want to talk about that.
That's a bit mature, Mom.
It's embarrassing right now. When you think of Mom, what color do you think my aura would be?
Green.
Green. What would that represent for you, do you think?
Well, for me, what green means, I think it means the nature, the help, like support. And you do all those, supporting, helping, advising. I think your aura would be green.
Well, thanks. I love green, so that's awesome. If my aura is green, I think that's wonderful. That makes me really happy. So here was another question that I had for you, because people don't really know us yet. The ones who do know us know this, but I have to kind of catch people up. You and I have traveled all over the world together. We've been all over the place. And so what do you think in all of those travels and all of the people that we've met and that we've eaten with and spent time with, what do you think about people? Do you think they're so different in nature, or do you think that we're all kind of similar?
Well, what is obvious to be told is that we aren't all similar. Maybe a tiny bit, but not this much. But not this much.
Do you think it's culture that separates us? Is that the thing that's different?
Well, I think it's just what we believe in. I'm not trying to say, hey, we should go into same and stuff like the Giver movie. No. But saying what's separating us from being sane or normal is sometimes the religions, the stuff we give passion to, or maybe just what we've gone through.
That's true. It does make us different in that sense.
The difference between a literal mad murderer and a mad scientist. They might have a bit of similarity, but they're different. Come on. One has gone through a lot of trauma, like Joker, and another one, well, he just went insane.
Okay.
Maybe he had a seizure. Okay.
I guess where I'm going with this, or what I was trying to get to was, with all the people we've met, the one thing that I've learned over the years traveling all over the world is that at the core in people's hearts, they all want the same things, right? They want to live a happy life, a peaceful life. They don't want to be at war with each other. They want to feel loved. So in those ways, we're all very, very similar. But I agree with you. I think religion and culture and belief systems can definitely be the indifference, for sure. And none of those things are directly bad. They're just different, right? That's part of the cool part of being in a world like this with so many different types of people, are all those beautiful differences.
But it can also cause religion could sometimes cause war, which is pretty bad.
Well, lots of things can. I mean, I think the main thing that causes problems with people is fear. It's always based in fear, whether it's insecurity or them feeling like they're not rich enough or smart enough or they don't have enough. And so people start fighting over those types of things. But I think on the whole, people are really good. We've had a lot of good experiences meeting really good people, right? So it's been a real blessing. Are you glad that you've got to travel so much?
Yes and no. My bones are tired. That's why I call myself a lazy bone.
Oh, well, we have two definitions of that are entirely different, much like the conversation we were just talking about.
All right.
So, no worries. My next question was this. If you could create one super strength, now I'm not talking about like superhero running fast, having the power to punch things hard. I'm not talking about that. If you could have one super strength that would benefit you and the world in a good way, what would it be?
What do you mean by strength?
An ability or a power, something you could give to the world that was uniquely you, that would benefit you and others. What do you think it might be?
I think it's common sense.
Oh, wow. That's your superpower?
I guess.
Would you consider yourself to be somebody who has a lot of common sense?
No, I don't have any.
Are you working on it?
I don't know. Nobody told me but you.
I think you're doing pretty good. I will say this. You have a lot of perspective. A lot of the times I think you think more like somebody a lot older than what you are. But common sense is something that kind of comes with experience in life, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to attain all that if you haven't had a lot of experience. And usually we get more common sense out of the harder situations in our life. We have to go through some hard things, maybe get in trouble a little bit to understand what's sensible and what's not sensible.
All right.
So what can you do to change the world around you, just as you are today?
Make a public post online that people need to wake up.
Okay. What would the wake-up call be?
It could provide. It could be a variety of stuff. I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry, baby. It's just a conversation. If you wanted people to wake up, what's one thing? Let's kind of take it slower. What would be the first thing you would want them to wake up to?
Well, I just want to wake up that being lied to from the above. What I mean by above, I mean by the people that have a higher rank than us.
Mm-hmm.
And I just maybe also just like I don't know what else, but I think there should be a wake-up call.
For people to just kind of maybe not listen to everything that they're told. I agree. I think people have to question things and figure out how they feel about it in their heart. Do you know what I mean? Whether they're praying about it or meditating about it or just sitting with it quietly with themselves to kind of figure out how they feel authentically without somebody else's opinion. But I agree. I think that would be a beautiful thing. The last thing I was going to ask you is, when people die in this experience and they leave this body, which is kind of like a used car, because if we use your analogy and say that we're randomly kind of skipping through universal expressions to go into a new life, every time we go into a new life, we have to assume some kind of form, whether it's physical or not. But in this one, we chose a physical form. So it's kind of like buying a car, right? And you're driving the car. But like every car, they get older. And at some point, the car doesn't work anymore. So what do you think when it's our time to exit this vehicle and to leave this body? What do you think's waiting for us when we leave this experience?
Well, one could be, well, our family, really.
The people that we love.
Or maybe it's just our time to go and skip to another universe, maybe.
That's
or
a very
multiverse.
Yeah. That's actually a really neutral perspective. I mean, do you think that that when it's your time to go, do you think that you would miss this experience?
Heck yeah! I don't want to have an experience where I get tortured.
Well, nobody said it would be torture. But let's just say, what do you think you would miss from this experience on Earth right now?
My family.
Your family?
Okay, it's practically everyone that I like.
Okay.
I mean, whoever I don't like, I'll be like, yeah, screw you, bye.
I think that's a little harsh.
Yep, you're right.
But, yeah, I know what you're doing. Do you think you would miss pizza? Or lasagna?
Yes.
For sure. You would miss your family. For sure. Absolutely, maybe at the top of the list. Friday Night Funkin'. I can imagine that would be a hard one to give up.
No, actually.
No? What would be the hard one to give up? Xbox. Who knows? Maybe it's existing in other dimensions. I think there's probably hundreds of thousands of children who are hoping the same thing. So if we all create our existence, and if we can create reality with our thoughts, maybe you guys can all get together and make sure that Xbox survives in all the other realities. That sounds like a good mission.
I just wish it wouldn't have to be so expensive, the prices of Xbox Gold, just to go online with my friends.
Yeah, it seems a little silly. I wish money wasn't such a play in everything, too. I agree. Well, Sugar Booger, I want to thank you so much for doing this with Mama. It's nice to have these conversations with you and you being so open and sweet about it and telling me how you feel. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Can I get a hug?
Let's just not do that on the camera.
Oh, man. All right, I guess that's it. We've hit puberty. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.